Welcome to First Encounters, where we share what it's like to visit a place in the National Park System for the very first time. There are places in the National Park System that announce themselves immediately. Monuments, canyon rims, coastlines that stop you in your tracks. West Branch, Iowa is not one of those places. And that, it turns out, is exactly the point. Herbert Hoover National Historic Site sits at the edge of a small Iowa town, population just over 2,000. And when you turn off the highway and pull into the parking area, what greets you isn't a grand entrance. It's a quiet street, a white cottage, a modest church, shade trees, a neighborhood that feels like it has been here a very long time, because it has. We started at the Visitor Center, which sits just inside the park boundary and serves as a natural orientation point for the site. The exhibits here do something valuable. They give you Hoover the man before they give you Hoover the president. Born in 1874 to a Quaker blacksmith and a school teacher, orphaned by age 9, raised by relatives in Oregon, the story of his early life is one of remarkable self-determination. By the time he reached the White House, he had already become one of the most celebrated humanitarians of the 20th century, directing relief efforts that fed millions across Europe after World War I. The Presidency and the Depression came later. The Visitor Center places that chapter in context without reducing the whole of the man to it. Stepping outside onto the walking tour is when the site does something unusual. The historic structures, the Birthplace Cottage, the Quaker meetinghouse, the blacksmith shop, the schoolhouse, are not arranged as museum exhibits behind glass. They're placed along what feels like actual residential streets, with mature trees overhead and grass underfoot. Walking among them, you don't feel like you're touring a memorial. You feel like you've wandered into the town where someone actually grew up. The Birthplace Cottage is striking in its smallness. 14 feet by 20 feet, 2 rooms, a family of 5. Standing at its doorway, you understand immediately that whatever Herbert Hoover became, he did not come from comfort. The blacksmith shop, his father's shop, still stands nearby, and the meeting house where the Hoover family worshipped anchors the site with a sense of community life that the biography alone can't quite convey. This wasn't just a house. It was a place with neighbors, a faith, a rhythm of daily life. A short walk from the historic structures brings you to the burial site, set on a gentle rise overlooking the grounds of his presidential library and the prairie beyond. Herbert Hoover is buried here alongside his wife, Lou Henry Hoover. The grave itself is simple, a flat granite marker, understated in a way that feels entirely consistent with the Quaker tradition he was raised in. The final stop on our tour took us to the Prairie Ovelook, where a restored section of native tallgrass prairie stretches out to the horizon. This is the landscape that shaped the people who shaped Hoover. Rolling Iowa prairie, open sky, the particular quality of light that comes off a grassland in the afternoon. It's easy to forget in the context of historic structures and presidential biography that the natural world was the backdrop for it all. Herbert Hoover National Historic Site doesn't try to rehabilitate its subject, and it doesn't try to condemn him. It does something more difficult and more honest. It shows you where he came from, the tomb-room cottage, the Quaker meeting house, the Iowa prairie, and then it leaves you to hold that alongside everything that came after. If you found this helpful, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We share new park stories, trails, and first visits regularly. You'll find links below to help you explore further. And if you visited here yourself, we'd love to hear about your experience in the comments. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time in the park.